A big project on the Skoolie is the shower, and that's for me the scariest project, even more than the roof raise, honestly. And a big part of that is waterproofing it. If it's not waterproof, of course, you can have leaks and then mold growing, mushrooms, dangerous situation. So for waterproofing the shower, usually in houses people have the cement backer board. But I was thinking about that, putting that in a Skoolie is not the ideal thing because it's heavy and it can potentially crack. Some people use it successfully, they say it hasn't cracked, but I was looking for something more flexible and lightweight, and I found out about the Schluter Kerdi system and the kerdi-board. And kerdi-board is basically the foam board that's covered with a waterproofing membrane. So that's what we decided to use for our shower, and I have finished it over here behind me, and if you watch this video, it's going to show you how I've done it. I want to install the kerdi-board on the walls before I put my subfloor and my shower pan, because I'm going to get the kerdi-board is going to go all the way down on all three sides. I got my piece of kerdi-board here, 1/2 inch thick. I already cut it down a little bit, but it's not exact size I need. So I measured the width needs to be 36.5, and I might, yeah, I did cut it 36.5 the width, but the length I need to shorten it a little bit, and it's gotta be under the angle because one side is longer than the other because the subfloor is sloping for the shower pan. All right, got a marker here. I'm just gonna follow the line. It's easy to cut, lightweight, and forgiving, you know. Oh, wait, okay, there we go. There we go. Now I got my template, and I'm gonna line it up on the right side here because that's what I did. I should have actually made the template longer so it's easier to line it up, because I did it 15 inches tall, but I should have done it longer. So that's just a tip that you should do if you use this method. So I'm kind of using these lines on the top and bottom to line them up. I'm seeing how far this line is from the bottom line, and then I follow it over here, make sure they're the same distance. Got my marker here. I'm actually gonna use a jigsaw to cut it. It cuts better than the utility knife. That's nice, clean cut. Let's see if we can slide this in. A little too long. Let's see if it fits now. I got it to fit. I just had to trim a little bit more from the side. To figure out where the studs are, I just measure the distance from this end to the center of this one, and from this end to the center of this one, and I come around and I measure from this side and the other side, and I marked it here, so I know the stud goes down there and then second stud is right there. So I can just follow that line up and down and do my screws, and I'll hit the stud every time, because kerdi-board has this this little square pattern here. One of the most important things when building a shower is for the studs to be flush. If they're not flush, your tile or whatever you put as the final wall is going to be all warped and snaking. So you can buy at Lowe's drywall shims and use them to shim it out so it's all flush. My Lowe's or all the other older Lowe's around here are out of stock right now. So I ripped out, I took a 2x4 and I ripped out thin pieces on a table saw. And you come over here and you basically get a straight edge and you look what the problem is. I see the middle to have a little gap even after adding this shim. I added this shim, I put some wood glue on there and three nails just to hold it. And so now I'm looking at this. This one has a little bigger gap there. And then they come up here, basically no gap, so that's all good in this section. Up here, that's good. Now it's starting to, with this one, this board is warped outwards, so it's causing it to wobble. It's good over here. When I come over here, so that one is a problem. So there is a specific planer you can buy to plane this stud. I don't have it, and I'm not going to spend money on just for one stud. So I'm going to try to do this with a router. Let's see. That's better. See? It's not wobbling anymore. Okay, it's wobbling there. So I got my angle grinder and it has this metal saw. This is for I think for tile cutting or concrete. That's what it was on the saw, so I'm gonna use that to shave off the edge here. All right. That's looking good. All right. This guy over here, that one is fine, and this one is fine already. I cut the second board too, but I miscalculated, didn't measure right, and I cut it too short. It's supposed to come up to the shiplap. And that's an expensive mistake. I'm not buying another board. I have some scrap that I can make it work, but it would have to have 2 or 3 pieces, and then I have to put the seams on there, and I'm not gonna do that. That's more complicated, higher chances of water leaking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get a strip of wood here, maybe this shiplap, and put it down, fill the gap, and then I have the Kerdi band, which is like 5-inch wide, and I can then overlap it there over the wood to waterproof the wood. That's anyway, Kerdi board goes until the end of the shower pan, so this is just a little extra. So that's fine. But these are all, both of these are propped up, are looking good. Now that the Kerdi board is propped up, I can bring my straight edge and measure here, press it in, there's no gaps, no warping. That's what we want. Perfect. This one as well. Let's talk about how to fasten the Kerdi board to the studs. Kerdi sells their own galvanized screws, which are 1 inch and 5/8, and they have special washers that they sell. But I was able to find off-brand ones that fit and are cheaper. And I got them on Amazon, so I'll post the link for everything in the description. These are the little washers. And these are number 6, 1 and 5/8 of inch long Phillips drive bungle head screws, galvanized. Okay, and these go like this, perfectly fit flush. They're just like the ones Kerdi sells. So I went around and with a marker I marked where the studs are. I put an S here, that's center of the stud, horizontal one, and over here I marked where the wires are so I don't put any screws there. So I cannot put screws between these two marks. And also at the top over here I marked a stud. I have a little line here where the stud is, another stud, and over there. Same thing, wiring here, I can't put any there. There's the center of the stud. When installing these screws, first you have to have no more than 16 inches of center distance between the studs. And then when you're installing the screws, you're going to be installing them 16 inches or less, depending on your studs, horizontally, but vertically 12 inches. So every 12 inches you need to have these screws. So I know I have a stud going down here. And when installing these, you want to indent them a little bit. Since I know the stud is right there, I'm going to put this guy in. Now going down, you're going to do every 12 inches. So I'm going to mark it here. I know it's this line. I did put the first one a little bit higher, so I have to offset that a little bit. That's looking good. Still need to cut the holes for the valves and the shower arm. So I pushed the board against the valve and the valve poked in it, so I know exactly where I need to drill the hole. I still need to figure it out up there for the shower arm. I got the 4.5 inch hole saw. So the shower rough valve, I'm cutting a 4.5 inch hole saw for it to have access to it from the front. I'm doing 4.5 because the Kerdi seal, which is a ring that you put in to protect the wall from leaking, that one is 4.5 inches diameter, so I got that size hole saw. I've propped it up there. It's looking good, but I still need to mark now the holes for the shower arm up at the top, shower head. So I don't know how much you can see, it's dark now, but the Kerdi board is resting on the that elbow, what is that called, the arm, ear, drop ear, elbow, whatever, for the shower arm. It's resting, so I just got my marker and I'm going to try to mark around as much as I can, a circle around this. Alright, and I have two of them, and there's a reason for that, which I will tell you about later. Here are the markings for the holes. You need a 1 inch hole saw. Alright, let's see if this fits. Ooh. Looking good. Look at that, like a glove. Alright, so now it's time to put the Kerdi band and thinset and Kerdi fix sealant and finish waterproofing the shower. And I need to overlap the Kerdi band 2 inches over the shower pan. So I'm gonna just measure with from the top edge 2 inches and mark with a marker all around. So that's gonna tell me where I can put a masking tape below it, so nothing, you know, no thinset or sealant gets on the stainless steel pan. There it is. I've marked it 2 inches from the top. I got the yellow masking tape. And I'm gonna mask below those 2 inches. Okay, I took the cardboard off so I can do this easier. And there it is. I'm gonna come here and put this back. Maybe add some more tape. Now I'm gonna put the tape over here like this, because I know my tile or whatever I choose to put on the walls is gonna go up to there. So I am putting it now. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. The thing is that I don't have the shiplap here yet, so I don't know if I can get this done to the edge here. I've added some over here as well on both sides. Now I want to add it up here. Now this board here is flat too, so I can actually do my final walls here, tile or whatever, all the way up to here, and the higher the better. That's why I'm going to put the tape right here. Now I'm going to come over here. I did it over there as well. I left a little gap here, so when I put a sealant on there, it will have enough room to grab onto the ceiling. There we go. What I got here is the Kerdi band. It's 5 inches wide, and this is what's gonna be overlapping between each board in the corners, between board in the pan, and then over here as well. So I have to cut it. It's always better to pre-cut the lengths instead of cutting it after you apply the thinset. So I'm gonna do that, measure, and then cut each one. And so down here I had to cut this in because that's gonna be overlapping over here like that. I've cut up these squares. These are gonna be for covering all the screw holes, the screws that go into the studs. Another thing that's good to do is to pre-fold the corners. So I'm gonna do that right now, and then on an edge I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And this is a Kerdi mixing valve seal. This is what's gonna go on the shower valve. Let me go over the things I got over here. So I have this bucket with clean water and a sponge just to clean some excess thinset. I have this trowel. That's a 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch square trowel. Schluter sells a trowel like this, but you can buy it for much cheaper at Lowe's or Home Depot. We have Kerdi Fix, which is the sealant that we're gonna use where the Kerdi bed goes on the stainless steel shower pan, and at the very top where it meets the ceiling. Then we have this 4-inch knife, some nitrile gloves, and of course we have the thinset, and I'm going to show you how I'm mixing in a bucket outside. All right, let's talk about thinset. I have done some research online. Schluter makes their own thinset that is compatible with the kerdi-board and Kerdi band, but there are some other brands and models like Ardex X5. That one is also compatible, and I like this one more because it is flexible, and you want flexible things in your Skoolie. So, or even on the front here says Arden X5 flexible and versatile tile and stone mortar. So that's why I got this one. It is very important to follow the instructions on the back when adding water, the amount of water. So I'm not going to use the whole bag, so I'm going to follow the instructions for you know, for the smaller batches. So it says 2 1/4 parts powder to 1 part water by volume. Okay, that's fairly simple. So I got a 1 quart size measuring cup from the kitchen, and I'm gonna get, first I'm gonna go, let me see, 2 1/2 of these, 2 1/4 to one of these of water. 1, okay, and then 1/4. Oh yeah, I just gotta do 1 cup because that's 4 cups, so 1. Do another 2 1/4, so I'm doubling it up, and then I just need two of these for water. 1, 2 1/4 of a quart, which is 1 cup. Okay, I need 2 of the water. 2 quarts. 1, 2. Now we can come here and mix it. I got one of these mixers. You gotta mix it really well so there are no chunks. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because this does not look, it looks too dry. Gotta be like a pancake mix. So I've added 2 more cups of water to get it to this consistency. So 2 more cups of water than what the instructions said. I got some soapy water here in Kerdi Fix. I'm gonna do the top line here, just fill up this corner there, the edge where it connects to the ceiling, where it connects to the ceiling. Now I'm gonna wet my finger with the soapy water. I'm gonna push in the corner and just spread it out. Okay. Now I'm going to put the Kerdi fix on the stainless steel here. I'm gonna do that on the other 2 sides here. One place I'm gonna use it on is here as well, to waterproof around the shower arm. There's a separate one you can buy that is it has a Kerdi band on it and a rubber gasket. Or acceptable is using the Kerdi fix. That's another one as well. All right, I got my tin set, and I'm gonna be starting from the bottom. I'm doing the right side. Now I got the trowel. .45-degree angle. replace this guy. Now I can take my it's kind of so tight in here. Just gonna use the 4-inch knife. Press this in. Alright, now I'm doing the right side. I got the trowel, I'm holding it under 45 degrees. I got my folded kerdi band. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. Push it in the corner. I gotta be gentle so I don't cut into the band. I got the sponge with water just to clean up a little bit. Smooth it out so it's a nice transition and there's no raised streaks or anything. Right over here. Now I can come and I can do these guys. Now I can put it right there. Get my trowel. I mean, get the knife, squeeze it out. Okay, keep going doing that to all the screws. Now it's time to do the mixing valve seal. So I'm gonna come around here. I got very little room here. So the mixing valve seal has one side that is deeper and one side is shallower here, this lip that's sticking out. The bigger lip, it's about ½ inch I think thick, it goes on the inside, not on the outside. Okay, there we go. Hope I'm capturing it on the camera. I'm gonna get my knife here and just spread this out. So I added some of the thinset over here where I had one of the boards. So kind of like I used it to make it flush because the board was a little indented. And I went with the sponge. I went with the sponge all around and wiped it, smoothed it out. Now I'm gonna start taking the masking tape off. It's done. Wow, this was my scariest project, I swear. Scarier than the roof raise. Hope I did it right. I mean, I followed the instructions. I watched 1,000 videos online. I think I got it. I think it's waterproof. If you guys notice anything that I did wrong, please comment and let me know. Here's how it looks now that it's dried up. I still have the cardboard there. I'm gonna remove that later. But it's all looking good. When I come over here, take a look at these seams. Everything's looking good. I'm happy with it.